a podcast covering your favorite and unknown movies, games, comic books, anime, and more weekly. We appreciate you being here and hope you enjoy the show. Let's go ahead and get started.
Hell boy. All right, let's start on the season 4 of You Wise Kids You Know. They'd be like, what? The hell does Hellboy have to do with that? It has to do everything with that. Right, so we're going to start. We are now on season 4. The first 5 episodes. My favorite skits from every single episode. This was a tough one because episode 1 had a lot of, it had 3 bangers. And I was
right off the bat.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is the one. And then the next one's like, oh, this is the one. And then the third one, like, oh, fuck, there's 3 of them. I was almost going to include all 3, but I was like, nah. Yeah, maybe for a future, compilation of, my favorite all time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, okay, so episode 1 of season 4, Sam actually got 2, episode 1 and 2 back to back.
Oh, really?
Because sometimes when he gets him, he gets him. I don't know why. But Sam, remember season 3, he had a banger after banger? 3 straight episodes?
Yeah.
I got another 2 straight. I think we should go back and see who's the leader of my favorite ones, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so he enters this just a regular it's called Homeware is what they call the little business there, and they just sell home stuff vacuums and microwaves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And off the bat, he grabs one of the fucking what's those things on the vacuums, the little suction things. That's not part of the actual bottom, but you can suck up stuff from the corners.
Oh, just the attachment end.
Yeah, the attachment suction thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he grabs it, right? And then he puts his hand around his, he imitates his penis, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, is it? And then he puts it over the thing, see if it's small enough to fit into the suction thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, you can clearly tell he's trying to see which one would fit in his dick, so he can turn it on it, and or turn it on as he puts his dick in it.
Right.
And Zach comes in because he's the employee there, and he's like, it'll rip your dick off. So what? And Sam's like, what are you talking about? What? He's like, if you put your dick in that, it'll rip your dick off. I don't know. I got a really messy apartment. He tries everything he can say to make it seem like that's not what he's buying it for.
Right.
So he's like, sir, it'll rip your dick off. So and he tried to nonchalantly go into so does it have multiple power settings? And so yes, there's high and low, and both of them will rip your dick off. It's like, oh, that's a weird way to describe the power settings. I'm just looking for a vacuum to clean my apartment. You got any other models here? And yeah, this one over here, this one will suck your dick real good. And he's like, oh, what? And he grabs the display, right? The display vacuum, sets it down, and he's still talking about how he just wants to clean his apartment and how this employee is acting weird about this whole dick sucking thing. And he picks up the box and walks off. Goes up to the counter. There's a woman there, right, with another employee, and she's like, "Oh hell no!" Got another one of these dick sucking vacuum buyers. And he's like, what? I just have an apartment I want to clean. And she hits the price tag on it, right? And it's he's like, $1,400? And she's like, watch this nasty motherfucker still buy it. And as he's pulling his fucking credit card out of his wallet, that's a ridiculous price. Here you go. So all that to buy a fucking dick sucking vacuum cleaner. And the fact that there's one specifically for that is what's funny.
Because they just know.
Yeah, this is the one right here that you want. Because every guy's thought about it, at least one time, they thought about it. Not a lot of them do it.
Right.
Because I heard a terrible story about one of them doing it, and it did suck his dick off. It ripped it off. I'm like, ouch.
Because you've at least heard about it, even in school and stuff.
Yeah.
You've heard of that one jackass that did do it. And it's like, oh.
But man, the power settings are high and low, and they'll both rip your dick off. All right, so in episode 2, it's the cold open scene too. It's insane how quick it was. So Sam's coming out of the bathroom, and Trevor's walking up like, oh hey Sam, and they go for they got business suits. It's a business type workplace.
Yeah. And
they do a fucking a slap hand grab, when they go to shake hands, it's almost like a high five.
Yeah.
But in a handshake motion, they're like boom, and they start shaking, and all this water comes off of their hands. And Trevor's like, because Sam just got out of the bathroom, and Trevor's like, I hope that's a clean wet. And Sam he goes into his head, right, and then it cuts to him in the bathroom, and he's at the urinal peeing, right, but he's peeing on his own hand. And he's he's filling up his hand and then dumping it into the urinal like he's playing with it. So it cuts back to Sam, and he's like, "Yep, it's a clean wet." And because Trevor was like, you can see Trevor's face, like he was a little like, "Uh oh," and then Trevor's like, "Oh," he's like, because he was like suspicious. And then when he said it's a clean wet, he's like, "Oh, he's sated."
Yeah.
And then thank goodness. And so like Sam pats him on the back, and he wipes his left hand on his right chest, right, right, I guess chest breast. I don't know.
Peck.
Yeah, and like a bunch of fucking brown stuff wipes on it, and, and he's like, "I hope that's chocolate." It's chocolate. So you can tell he pretty much just wiped shit on his fucking shoulder.
So he's playing with his piss and his shit.
Basically, yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Sometimes it makes me wonder what when they did those skits because of their hairstyles. Because like throughout that season, he had a shorter hairstyle, but in this one, he had a longer one. So like, was this something they did a long time ago? They just didn't have room for it. They just added it from the archive.
It's possible.
Like one of those, like every time you see a different hairstyle, like you see a consistent hairstyle throughout the season, but then you'll see like a different one, like one skit, and then it'll be gone. So it makes me wonder how old some of these skits are.
Yeah, it could be older.
Context of like, or did they do it over? They so excited they did a quick one over like summer break or something, or like season. I don't know.
That's possible too. Like where they do the majority of them at one point, like within a recording session.
Their production cycle.
And then they do that one that's, we got to add this one to it.
Right, like we got to add it somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, so episode 3, so they're having, it's World War II, right? And they're having a massive shootout. It's Sam, Trevor, and Timmy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're struggling with like their surrounded, they're losing, they're running out of ammo, and Zach comes out of nowhere. So here, I got your ammo, guys, and he gets shot, and he does this really dramatic, like, oh my God, I got shot, and he dies, right, like a really like dramatic movie scene, like he's got his hands up, like, and almost like the Jesus Christ position, like, oh, and he falls back, and he dies, right, and Sam and Timmy are still shooting back, right, but Trevor's like got this look on his face, like, did you see the way Zach died? Like all dramatic and shit. And he's like, what? And they start making fun of the way Zach died. They're just like he's the main character or some shit, all this and that, right? And then fucking Trevor gets shot, and he's like, oh never forget. And he dies too, right? And then like Timmy looks at Sam, and he's like, that's weird, because he did just what Zach did, all dramatic and shit. So they started laughing at Trevor the way he died, and so they're like, they're fucking joking around about him. And then Timmy gets shot in the fucking head. I'm talking about like there is a fucking apple-sized gap in his fucking cranium, and he's like, he's bad at fucking Sam, like it's real fucking bad. So they talk for a few seconds, right? And then Timmy's just like, well, it's getting kind of dark now, so I'm just gonna lie down. And so he tries to lie down, right? And he puts his head back, and he pops back, like, don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me. It's like, no, I'm not gonna make. That was the most brutal shit I've ever seen. Okay, just don't make fun of me, because he just laughed at for the way he died, right?
Yeah.
Because he died like really like nonchalantly. They died over dramatically,
right?
But he's so embarrassed, like, please don't make fun of me when I die. He's got a fucking massive hole in his head. And he just fucking ends up dying, and then the war's over right after that. And like it's funny because they say they make it sound like it's a fucking game. Like, war's over, America, your bus is over here. Germany, your bus is over here. There's a free meal voucher for when you leave your gun at the in the barrel outside the truck. Like, okay, all right. So episode 4. This was all the so basically it's Timmy in school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Trevor's a teacher, and he's showing the Apollo 11 moon landing and how Neil Armstrong was the first man to land on the moon. So Timmy's like, so who shot the footage of Neil Armstrong landing on the moon?
Mm-hmm.
And then like it stops Trevor in his tracks. He can't think about who, because if Neil was first on the moon, who has the camera? Like who put it on the tripod? Like, did Neil come down first, set it up, and they come back up, and they come right back down? So he gets confused. So he goes to Zach, who's the principal, and he asks him. And you find out that Trevor's name in the skin is Mr. Teacherson, because they always do that. They have the weirdest fucking names for. They had one where they were doing like an alien autopsy, and Trevor's name was Dr. something Pepper, like Dr. Peter Pepper. Darren was Dr. Colin Pibb, And then Sam was a general named General Mills.
General Mills.
Yeah, so all the basically, Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pibb, and General Mills. So the principal, Zach, can't figure out who shot the moon landing either. So they call Darren, who's an army general. They're like, hey, who shot the Apollo 11 moon landing? And Darren flips out and hits this big ass red button that puts the whole base on lockdown. And someone calls the president at the time during the run of the show, I guess was Barack Obama.
Mhm.
So Barack Obama answers the phone. And like, Mr. President, someone's asking about the Apollo moon landing. And who's asking? What school? And he tells them the school district. And Obama sends a bomb and blows the school up. And one of his advisors comes in like, Mr. President, who did do the moon landing? Oh, there was some camera on one of the legs of the landing craft. It's like, oh, so why did you bomb that school? So that's why they call me Obama. So it's like, oh, and then bomb.
A bomber. Oh, bomber.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
That was random as hell.
Because that was his nickname.
Apparently, yeah.
Because he used to bomb all these places.
All right, last one. This is the first one in a while. Like, I enjoy all of them, right?
Mhm.
But I'm not gonna say they all they all make me bust out laughing.
Right.
It's one of those things where I just enjoy watching.
Mhm.
You don't have to laugh but you just still consider it extremely funny.
Right.
But this one actually had me bust out laughing. So it's a jumbotron at a sports game. I don't know what they didn't show what it was, but it was like some random whatever sports game. Mostly basketball and hockey, right? Have jumbotrons, maybe baseball.
Jumbotron is in the middle of the field or what?
Like just like the big like cameras for like the show, like the fans.
Every sport does.
Oh, they all do? Okay. So it's a jumbotron, and it's going. At first, it could pick up some random people, right? Then it picks Zach and Sam, right, as also random rowdy fans. But fucking Zach grabs Sam's head and starts imitating fellatio, and Sam's like, ah. So they cut away from him as quick as they can, and it goes to Timmy, and it stays on Timmy for a long time. Like, it does not go away. So he starts getting, like, at first he's happy. Then he's like, he tries to, compensate, or what's the word I'm looking for? He tries to appease them, right? Like, oh, let me do something goofy. Then the camera go away, but it never goes away. It eventually only cuts off after Zach and Sam pop in out of nowhere and start messing with Timmy, right? And get back on the jumbotron. It cuts away, right? And then it goes later. It stays on a continuous shot, but it makes you realize that it's a little bit later. The fucking jumbotron cameraman follows Timmy into the bathroom and just busts the fucking door open as he's taking a piss sitting down. So he's like, "What the fuck are you? I'm fucking pissed." And like, it's all real quiet because you see the fans cheering.
Yeah.
The fucking camera just fucking backs Timmy into the corner of the fucking journal, or this little bathroom, right? He's like, "What the fuck? You need to get the fuck away from me." It's all like muffled, right? And the fucking camera goes all the way down his fucking throat and comes out his pee hole. It comes out and he's like, wow. And he's just laying there in the corner, fucking a handful of blood, right? Holding his dick.
Yeah.
Like, it just ripped out of his pee hole. So he's like, oh my God, what are you doing? I'm fucking, because it's how invasive it is. So Timmy's like back in the corner and he's like, get the fuck away from me. What the fuck are you doing? He's trying to get this fucking guy to get like, what the fuck are you doing? That's something about the helplessness of Timmy. I don't know why that made me laugh. Maybe he's like a fucking serial killer. But just how vulnerable he was. Like, he's his pants around his ankles. The camera just, imagine someone busting into the bathroom at a fucking sports game and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? So
Danny, is that you?
So the cameraman turns around, right? And it sees Trevor at the urinal, right? And Trevor turns around like, whoa, what the hell? Then he sees Timmy down like, oh my God, what? And it zooms in on Trevor and it goes down Trevor's fucking throat and it comes out his pee hole. So he's just like, oh. But there's blood everywhere. His fucking holes, his dick's blown open. And then for some reason, there's a woman in the urinal too, in the men's bathroom, and it goes down her mouth, but it comes out and it's just fine. Because apparently the whole moral of the skit was like, it's easier to get a camera through a vagina than it is a pee hole.
Right.
That was the moral. That's what Timmy at the end's like that. Like, that's the moral of the story. And then it was like, Timmy, the more you know. I'm like, what the fuck was that? But something
That is fucked up.
they always have Timmy as like the one character. Like, I don't know if it was like, I guess it was intentional, and like as a joke or an inside joke. Because the four original cast was Trevor, Sam, Zach, and Darren. They all met in school. So they all ended up making the White Kid, comedy troupe. And then Timmy joined in later. but he joined in before the show started, so
Right.
it wasn't like he showed up like a season or two after. But so he's always been like the outsider within the group, and they always used to do that. Like they make him like the bullied one, like as a joke in the skits, right?
Yeah.
But like I'm like, God dang, he's always like the bullied one for some reason. You can always tell too. It's always
It's like, Timmy?
just always making fun of Timmy. Like Timmy's always the odd man out. But then like I'm sure they only do it because he's fine with it as a bit. It's not real.
Right.
But man, imagine always being the one getting fucking shit on by the other four of your group.
That is funny, though. Always getting picked on.
Basically, yes. It's always Timmy getting picked on because he's the odd.
Well, at least they've also kept it throughout every season, or he's always the one.
Yeah, he's the one. He's always Timmy. There's one time where like this skit he was having like he was making he's called it Timmy Talk, his own little talk show. It was a pilot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other four guys found the tape and were fucking laughing their asses off at him. He's like, guys, this is just a pilot. This isn't funny. And like they're all messing with him and they're all like pushing him around and on the couch, right? And like, this is fucked up, guys. I'm leaving. And he leaves with his tape, right? And he goes downstairs. He comes outside and like they call up to him, hey Timmy, because they're up on like the third or fourth floor. And he turns around and they smash him with a bunch of water balloons. Like, you suck, Timmy. Fuck you, Timmy. Timmy turns around and he rounds the corner and then he gets mugged, right? He's like, what do you got? Like, give me all your money. And Timmy's like, my dad has it all. And now, never mind, he's a grown ass man.
Right.
So his dad having all his money. So what's on that tape? Like, no, you don't want this. This tape means nothing to you. And the guy takes the tape, right?
Of all things, yeah.
Like, no, my pilot. And then he remakes the Timmy Talk and he sells it to a studio and they buy it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then the other cast members are watching the video of Timmy Talk with the mugger that robbed Timmy, and they're like, this is amazing shit. And Timmy's like, fuck it, bullshit. Because the very same thing that he was doing, this other guy's doing, and they enjoy it, but they didn't enjoy it when Timmy did it. It's kind of like how they do it it's how it like the dynamic is in terms of the bit of that show of Timmy being the odd man out.
It's like, yeah, you didn't do it good enough. Because it's not you, it's good.
And how bad this fucking Timmy Talk was? He would do a thing where it was him as the host and then him as the guest.
Oh.
And he would like superimpose. So he would ask a question and then he would have the other one answer, right? But he messed it up. So the other guy says something first and then he asks a question. Like, so it'd be like, so Timmy was like, and welcome my new guest, Timmy. So Timmy would come out, thank you, Timmy. And they would fake had to do the handshake. So then Timmy would sit down, the guest Timmy would sit down and be like, Thomas. And I'm like, what? And then like the host would be like, so what's your cat's name? And I'm like, oh, wow.
Or it's really bad, like really bad.
And what's weird is the guy that stole his pilot and redid it and got it sold into an actual show, it was doing the same thing. And also, it was off-center too. So what's your cat's name? Or it'd be like, yeah, Thomas. Oh, so what's your cat's name? So he didn't
really even change it to the bad stuff.
No, he did the exact same thing, just with a better set and like an actual suit. He even kept it in the Timmy Talk. He kept the name.
Leave even the same name.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, that's fucked up.
But so that's it for this 5 episodes of season 4. We'll go into the episodes 6 through 10 on the next episode. Episode 6 has one of my funniest videos, or one of my favorite videos of the entire series. And I don't want to get into it, but you guys will you'll understand why. Sometimes I love complexity when it's like done right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hate convolution in storytelling if there's no point to it.
Right.
It's why I don't really like
where you get a whole bunch of backstory for no reason.
That's why I don't really like Inception. Like, it's just so convoluted for no reason.
Yeah.
And like, this was one of the things where like it was like I don't even know if I want to say convoluted, but it was awesome the way they did it. Like, I wish like the way, so whoever wrote it, this skit was like a genius. And like, it was also complex because you had to do it 2 things at the same time, 2 different scenes at the same time, interlocked with each other. It's crazy. I'll tell you about it on the next one.
And again, as a PSA, as always, this is not the full episodes of the show.
They still complaining about it?
No, just I like to throw that out there, just as a heads up, so that way if anybody watches this till the end, which we hope you do, but
You can watch a new show, Timmy Talk.
Timmy Talk. When you do something like that, it'd be funny. Timmy Talk.
Timmy Talk.
Where I just answer the question and before you even ask the question.
French fries. So what food do you hate?
Just start cutting stuff to where it makes no sense.
And he cut it so weird.
We also still have Hellboy to look forward to eventually.
Yep, I got the volume 1 omnibus of Hellboy plus the volume 1 and 2 of the complete short stories.
Cool.
So once I get into a good study of those, I'll be able to more articulate, I mean, more authoritative discussion of them instead of me just like, well, I don't know.
Here's some random shit that I learned and know.
I guess one of the randomest things I've learned of Hellboy was that he's actually immune to holy relics and items.
Oh, really?
Because he's a special kind of demon that's above that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know if that's true or not, but that was like the Wikipedia. That was the Hellboy Wikipedia. I have to look into it. But he's unaffected by crosses and all that stuff.
Yeah, I guess I would think so.
Prayer and whatnot. He's a special demon.
Special.
He takes a special bus.
He's not the Jimmy and Timmy style though. That's a different kind of.
I don't think his dad's supposed to be like Satan or Lucifer either.
Isn't it Belial?
I can't remember, but it's I think because they wanted to build their own mythology, so they probably took stuff like names and stuff and just reworked a different history for him. Because you actually, because Mike Mignola even said, because I was reading one of the books, that he wasn't intending on Hellboy's dad to be shown so early in the series, but he just one day just popped up into a short story, and he's in one of the short stories.
Yeah.
He actually sees a short story of him and his mom, or Hellboy goes to this place and he actually witnesses a vision of him and his mom. Yes. I don't know what else to talk about. I don't want to get too far into it.
Cool.
It's not gonna. It'd be weird to talk like, at the end of Why Did You Know is a full discussion of Hellboy.
Nah, we won't do that to you.
I guess I'll say this. Basically, in the short story, Hellboy goes there. He sees the vision. His mom's on her deathbed, and he's trying to repent because she used to be a witch that would and that worshipped that specific demon.
Yeah,
and that's how they became born, I guess, between their coupling. And so she's trying to repent so she can go to heaven, and he somehow convinces her, like, "Come on, baby, hell's the way to go." That's basically what it is. It's this priest and this nun are trying to convince her to go to heaven, to repent all her sins, and he comes out of nowhere and be like, "Nah,
come on, nah."
And then Hellboy, I think, tries to save her from going to hell, but she ends up going with his dad anyway. So his mom, I'm surprised he didn't meet his mom. I don't know if he did meet his mom. I don't think she did, but it would have been interesting if he met his mom in hell.
Yeah,
because she was old, right? She was dying of old age. She was.
So it was like a natural death. It wasn't.
Yeah, like they were basically fighting for her soul, and this demon was like, "I can make you young again." She's like, "Bet," and that was all it took.
That's all it took.
Not only that, but he fucking like turned the nun and the priest into fucking skeletons with like a Thanos snap. So you have no power here, huh? And they're like, they just fucking turn into skeletons.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like his whole fucking form came onto Earth. So yes, that's the short story. I have to read it again.
Yeah.
And get more detail on it. But that's what happened. He witnessed his mother at her deathbed trying to go to heaven, and he's like, I guess he really loved her. He came all the way from hell to come get her.
That's crazy.
And Hellboy's like, oh, they really did love each other. Because he never actually meets his dad. His dad's dead when Hellboy goes to hell. He was killed by somebody and ends up fighting his brothers, his half brothers. They fucking hate him because he's a special one. He's rare because he's half human, half demon, and that's rare for the species. They fucking hate him.
Unlike well, I guess his dad didn't love him the way that Trigon loved Raven.
I guess his dad loved his sons like Trigon loves his sons, like a bunch of worthless.
Trigon hated all three of his sons.
Basically,
you worthless pieces of shit.
I should have fucking. I should have worked on them.
All right. Well, moving on then. First thing that we got going forward is 15 superhero names that are just stupid.
Okay.
First one, Squirrel Girl.
Really?
It's a very stupid name.
I like it.
These are all by Screen Rant, by the way. So they put, how could anyone take a superhero named Squirrel Girl seriously?
And it doesn't roll off the tongue with Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl.
It doesn't roll off the tongue well either.
Squirrels aren't exactly ferocious creatures of doom unless they're
I had
rabid.
a fucking one jump at you.
It says unless they're rabid.
No, like even like a regular one that gets mad at you. You ever seen those fucking big chungus ones? The ones that like they have that extra nuts for winter. They're just like built like a fucking stack house.
Unbelievably, Squirrel Girl has defeated the likes of Thanos,
Yeah.
Galactus, and Doctor Doom with her squirrely powers.
Squirrely powers.
Yes. Although
That goes up their asshole.
Although Iron Man rejected her as a sidekick, she did get to join the Great Lakes Avengers. As a result, she recently starred in her own graphic novel, Unbeatable Squirrel Girl Beats Up the Marvel Universe.
You know who needs a sidekick
Who's
that makes actual sense in terms of like nature? So Spider-Man, right?
Mhm.
Certain spiders in nature actually they capture a little frog. They either capture it or
Oh, yeah, the tarantula, yeah.
and they'll keep it in their little hut as a
Yes.
companion to eat other bugs that they can't get to.
Yes.
I never understood why they didn't have a little frog type character for Spider-Man as a side.
That would be kind of cool.
Right? Don't you steal my damn idea.
They will. Don't worry. But yeah, because the spider eats anything that would attack the frog, and then the frog eats all the little bugs
Right.
that the spider can't get to.
It's like a
That was the spider. Hang on. The frog eats the bugs that would eat the spider's eggs.
okay.
Is what like the
That'd be such a terrifying for the frog though. Like, oh man.
but it does. It keeps the frog around basically.
For how long? Like, does it ever like not
It doesn't eat it.
at all?
No.
To see that would work then.
Fans of her wacky brand of humor
Had to be better than Frogman though.
Yeah.
Or it had to be something more.
couldn't be Toadman either.
It couldn't be Toad at all. Or unless it was the actual Toad, it becomes a good guy.
Yeah, that would be funny.
The mutant, yeah.
That would be hilarious. Where you have Toad following Spider-Man everywhere,
Hey,
swinging by his tongue.
Hey, bud. How you doing, bud?
Next one up is Extreme.
Extreme.
Yes.
Fucking stupid.
It sounds like so many other things than a superhero name.
It's a fucking porn website.
Well, it says, is it the name of a workout DVD? A WWE wrestler? A porn star? It's also such a painfully obvious 90s name. The comic should have come up with a warning label. Not only does it have retractable blades on his suit, so metal, but he can burn everyone from the inside out by setting their electrolytes on fire.
Boring.
Exactly.
Also, well, damn.
To add more fuel to the fire, his origins are pretty hazy. When Martin Strong found him, he didn't know who he was or where he was from. He temporarily joined the X-Force at some point, but was always somewhat of a rogue agent, preferring his solitude. It wasn't until he encountered Eric the Red that he found out something about who he was, and that he was an heir to the Shi'ar throne.
Jesus.
Then we have number 13, which is Lady Cop.
Lady Cop. I think that would probably work eventually.
Lady Cop. You're under arrest. Lady Cop was a highly underrated superhero created for DC Comics in the 1970s. Despite her on-the-nose and slightly sexist name, she was actually a pretty amazing character, and she was good at what she did.
Being a lady and a cop.
What's most amazing about these comics is Lady Cop is that she encounters workplace misogyny just like a real female cop does.
Jesus.
Number 12 is Matter Eater Lad.
Matter Eater Lad. Wow, I didn't even try to name that one properly. Matter Eater Lad.
Matter Eater Lad.
Like Matter Eater, right? I can get behind Matter Eater.
Lad.
Then they gotta add the lad part for some fucking reason and just like sync the whole name.
There's just something about pre-1970 superhero names that are so unimaginative. So DC creates a superhero who can consume anything in his path, and they chose the most obvious name that comes to mind.
Matter Eater.
Matter Eater Lad has such a pizzazz as a pencil sharpener. That has about as much pizzazz as a pencil sharpener. Just imagine that they came up with him as a joke and then just decided to run with it.
You never know. They might I dare you, bro. I dare you to write a story with him. Like, I will write a story with him.
Matter Eater Lad. Number 11, Bird Brain.
Bird brain.
That's more of usually an insult.
That's like the writers daring, like that's kind of like, because Mike Mignola, he originally thought of Hellboy as a super team character,
Yeah.
a member of a super team, like a cult super team group. That was his original concept.
Yeah.
And like the original concept of Hellboy looks weird. Like I'll show you the picture one day on the next one, or when we start the Hellboy stuff. But like that was his original concept of Hellboy was part of a superhero team.
Instead of just alone.
Yeah, he was gonna be the heavy hitter of that team, and the only thing he kept from that is just Hellboy. Maybe Liz and Abe Sapien.
But like he was supposed to be part of a team.
So, like I like that whole just was crazy how much gestation goes into a writer's process to the final form. And he just like fell on Matter Eater Lad.
Matter Eater Lad.
Like close enough.
And then you got Bird Brain.
Like, where's my paycheck at?
See, Bird Brain, his creation, is a cautionary tale about why you shouldn't splice animal and human genes together. Sure, you might get an interesting hybrid of both animal and human traits, but, like this name suggests, the creature might just not be that bright.
Bird Brain.
The result of experiments by an evil scientist called the Anti-Mator.
Is this DC? Or is this like a spoof series?
No, this is Marvel.
Okay, so they're making fun of DC.
Animator made his
Animator
made his creations go through a dangerous maze in order to test their abilities. However, Bird Brain managed to escape and meet up with the New Mutants. So she was part of the New Mutants.
Okay.
Then we have number 10, 3D Man.
3D band or man?
3D Man.
3D man?
Yeah.
Are we all 3D man? We're in 3D space, are we not? What the fuck?
Not only is his name absolutely ridiculous, but so is the very concept behind this Marvel character. 3D Man made his debut whenever his first issue premiered in the 1970s, although his adventures actually took place in the 1950s. His powers really had nothing to do with 3D. But he has a pretty trippy red and green costume, completing the 3D. He has a pretty trippy red and green costume, complete with 3D glasses.
Weird.
Yeah, because it's like, because they even put on there, and how could he really, since we're already in 3D?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
As for his backstory, after getting caught in an explosion of an alien spaceship, Chuck Handler, which is his name,
Such a pretty good name, Chuck Handler.
Chuck Handler's image became
I think this is related to Chelsea Handler.
His image became imprinted on his brother's glasses. By concentrating extra hard on the images, his brother Hal could make Chuck reappear as a 3D
Hal
image.
Handler? It was like a Hal Handler? This fans are fucked up.
Notice the alliteration that comes with Marvel.
Oh yeah, he was fucking Stanley all over the place.
Yep. In the process, however, Hal would enter a comatose state, almost as if he had borderline personality disorder. Basically, 3D Man was a combination of the two brothers' consciousnesses, with both of their minds present in some form or another. It's an interesting concept, but completely out there in terms of actual usefulness.
Yeah, like if the writer didn't have it's like when you come up with a concept and you don't have the ability to use it properly.
Yeah.
Sucks.
And that's one of them. 3D Man.
Like you just couldn't implement his idea properly.
Number 9, Skate Man.
You ever seen that guy, that writer or that artist or whoever it was who was obsessed with having pockets for his superheroes? He would just every iteration that would slowly you realize every character he was making was having more and more pockets until he finally just made a character that was nothing but fucking pockets.
Really?
He had pockets all over his fucking body. I got a pocket here, I got a pocket here. He was like utility belt type stuff. This man was obsessed with having his characters have more utility belts and pockets. So eventually, it finally culminated, and he invented his own original superhero that was I don't know what his name was, but he was just walking around with pockets on every fucking orifice of his body, or not orifice, but every space of his fucking body.
Do you remember his name?
The writer?
Yeah.
No. But his final character is just just full of pockets everywhere. To fucking freaking utility belts. This man was just fucking ready for everything on planet Earth.
Huh.
But
I
yeah,
have to find it.
because like you'll see like someone did a TikTok. They spliced the audio from the Game Grumps,
Mhm.
where like they were saying and this, or no, like they was take this, take this, take this, take, and it would be the artist, it would be the writer or the artist's characters,
Mhm.
and like they would slowly realize like they're getting more and more pockets on these motherfuckers. Like everyone, and like he finally culminated with the final one, his fucking magnum opus, this super pocket character. Like it's like Batman on fucking steroids, just fucking packed to the
Pocket.
fucking rim with fucking gadgets and shit. I'm like, God. And then like if he was self-aware, right, this writer, I would have the character dig through it like, where the fuck are my keys? You know what I mean? Like and never find his keys, like that one thing, or like have him never be able to find anything.
Because he's got too many
Yeah,
pockets.
it's like he looks at like, oh, this is a fucking, oh, damn it, where's my fucking flashbangs? Oh, fuck, those pockets out the ass. Weird.
Yeah, there's a
Like,
few
so,
different-
like, because characters, like, so writers have certain obsessions, right?
yes.
Like one of mine is like eyesight, because I have bad eyesight, so my characters have more like, it always has to do with like super sensory like eyesight, like seeing through walls, laser vision, super like telescope vision. Like I don't know why, but I'm obsessed. I know why, because my eyes are bad. I'm obsessed with having like superior eyesight.
Yeah.
So that's my obsession. So if you see my kids, one of them, they'll have eyesight at certain points, like cybernetic eyeballs or enhanced eyesight, stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's always stuff about your life that, or like if
Usually it's like what you would rather, not what you'd rather have, but what you'd like to have improved. You go to the extreme and you
Right.
just create different
he
versions.
just wanted to make sure he had enough pockets for all his stuff. And he's just obsessed with pockets.
Those obsessions do come through though. They really do.
They do. You can't stop them.
Like you've always got those you got the other writers where they have the habit of like where somehow their clothes always rip. Like God knows why.
Yeah.
Like
Like Goku's shirt always getting torn up at the final
for
battle.
no reason.
It's like, just my shirt, huh? Fucking cock swinging in his fucking pants. But he was always shirtless in the final battle. During the
Always.
Dragon Ball Z run, he was always lost his shirt.
I don't think he was necessarily in Dragon Ball Super, but
Like they find like, you don't have to knock his shirt off every time. Like
like he gets hit one time and his shirt just explodes.
rips off. Fucking barefoot fighting everybody.
I know it's always barefoot too, where he somehow always he's got like almost no pants left, no shirt, no nothing. It's like, well, damn. It's like I don't know how that. Now, see, I know why they did it with Superman. They did it with Superman because they wanted to show how fucked up he was.
Oh yeah, but they only did it for like against Doomsday that I've seen.
Yeah, but it was to show how much of a threat Doomsday was. Like, because they fucked him up.
For all your readers, look at your favorite writers, see any continuing themes, and you'll know, and you'll be able to see a little bit deeper.
Oh, and with anime, you definitely know what they're into. All you have to do is just take a little glance at the first couple of episodes. You'll know what they're into. What that secret fetish is.
Yeah, you'll find it. It'll be there.
It's sometimes harder to find in normal like Western comics, but in manga, oh, that shit comes through.
At page 2.
They embrace it. They really like the upskirt shots.
That's the only way they can like express. There's such a a closed culture.
Yeah,
Like they have to like release this somewhere.
but like
And I guess it's more productive there than like in something like if it was like in some bathroom stall. Like I gotta get another shot of, you know what I mean? But they're not like hurting anybody.
right. But like you have like there's a manga artist that loves to draw those up shirts, got the upskirt
Yeah.
pictures. You don't see nothing usually, but it's like from down below.
What's another one that's always like? It's always the one where like it's a guy by himself, right?
Mhm.
For his whole life, and then he ends up in some dormitory, some house, and it's just filled with women that love him.
Yep.
That's another Japanese thing.
A harem
Yeah,
where somehow he always gets a harem.
yeah. Like somehow he just ends up in a fucking harem
Uh-huh.
immediately.
Yes, where every woman wants to be with him. Every girl always wants to be around him.
I had a female coworker. She's a writer too.
Mhm.
That she liked writing reverse harems. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've seen that in comics too,
Like, yeah,
or in manga. I mean,
like you do you, girl.
yeah, they exist. They definitely exist. Where every dude's obsessed with them. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I liked about what was it? Fairy Tale, the anime Fairy Tale,
Uh-huh.
where there was a group from a different guild called Blue Pegasus.
Uh-huh.
But there were these three dudes that were constantly always trying to hit on every woman. Like they were always like the what you consider the stereotypically like hot guys,
Yeah.
but always trying to hit on just random women all the time. And the guy that leads like over those three dudes specifically, he's like the most ugly motherfucker in the world, but he thinks he's like the hottest. Shit is hilarious. It was funny because Fairy Tail was one of those anime where they took those tropes that everybody else had and just incorporated them all into that one show.
Damn.
Like the girl where it's like in the first episode you have Lucy where she's trying to get a deal at a magic shop, right? So she's sitting up there, it's like, how much is it now? And it's like it comes out to even more.
She's like, oh shit.
I think we covered that.
Yeah, I remember.
First, yeah. But it's one of those kind
He adds like for wasting his time.
yeah. It's getting even more now.
Oh shit.
It'd be funnier if more. I guess a lot of anime do that. The comedy ones, they take those tropes and then just expand on.
Comedy is a reflection on human nature, so the comedy ones always reflected a little better than other ones.
Like
That's why it's so hard to write comedy, because you need to understand
yeah.
humanity at a very fundamental level.
One anime that does it really well, and we haven't covered it yet, but I might, is Konosuba, where it's it's a dude that he dies and is reborn, so it's an isekai, right?
Yeah.
So it's in another world after you die. And Truck-kun is the one that kills him. Like there's always that, they always die by truck.
Oh, it is okay.
There's actually a manga out there called Truck-kun, where it's what happens to the truck when that has sentience, how it kills everybody.
It's like, I'm such a murderer.
But in this one, you have the warrior. They take this female warrior that's like she's into pain, so like she wants pain, like it makes her horny as shit.
Okay.
So they take that trope. Then you take the main character. He's a pervert. Apparently, everybody looks at him. He's a pervert, even though he's not trying to be.
Oh.
So like, there's these people that'll come out there. It's like, what was it in I think it was the first episode. Somehow he ended up. He's like his gift, like his special ability after he was reborn, is called steal. So he can anything he can picture, he can just take, and it's in his hand. He's like, so he takes their panties.
Is a panty thief?
He's like, and then he starts doing this weird, like, like a weird groping motion or whatever towards him to get him to leave him alone. He's like, I'll take more. But they at least, you know, they don't take it so seriously with a lot of these anime.
Yeah.
They actually joke about stuff. I wish we could do that more here. That'd be nice. If you just seen one of those, like, they tried to do that with Teen Titans Go, but it just didn't work.
I guess it wasn't really our type of comedy.
No.
Probably.
They fucked up Teen Titans, so it's a different story, though. Alrighty. You ready to move into some Reddit?
Bagman.
Bagman? No.
Or Pocket Man. Or
Oh, yeah. We're still not even through with these yet, are we?
Yeah.
Been a long evening already. All right. Number 9, Skate Man.
His best friend of Pocket Man.
Exactly. Skate Man was a gem of a superhero created by Neil Adams, who amazingly went on to do a ton of work for both DC and Marvel. Generally regarded as one of the worst comic books of all time, Skate Man,
Jesus Christ.
unsurprisingly, lasted for just one issue.
You give me a chance. Give me 3.
As his name suggests, he fights crime on roller skates, and unfortunately doesn't have any real powers to speak of unless you count leaping, striking, slashing, thrusting, and...
So he's that bike guy from One Punch Man?
And striking again.
Jesus.
His name strikes fear into the hearts of absolutely no one. Seriously, no one.
Probably a security guard's like, damn it, a skateboarder.
What were Neil Adams?
His arch nemesis would have to be a security guard. It'd have to be.
Yeah. Well, this was by Pacific Comics.
Hmm.
You don't even hear about them, so you know.
I don't know who that is.
Exactly.
Just like Thanos, I don't even know who you are.
This skating disaster could only have come from the mind of a 40-year-old in the 1980s who intended on appealing to a younger audience he clearly did not understand.
Boy.
Yeah. Why read Superman when you have Skate Man? Superman has X-ray vision and can fly. Skate Man has Skaterade, a restorative tonic containing herbs, roots, and the love of a roller girl.
What the fuck? It has to be a parody comedy comic book.
That's what he looked like. Skate man.
Man.
Skate man. Not Skeet Man. That's a different person.
It'd be so funny, like in the first episode, or the first issue, he gets fucking shot in the leg. Like, oh shit. Oh. And he's like, actually, like, oh my God.
Number 8, Color Kid.
Color Kid?
Color Kid sounds more like the name of a rapper than a superhero.
Just like a rapper either.
But believe it or not, he was a DC creation. DC Comics. Like a few others on this list, he was rejected from the Legion of Superheroes for his less than useful powers. And probably his lame name too. Maybe it's his costume didn't have a giant rainbow on it. They would have taken him a little bit more seriously. Honestly, he looks more like a Care Bear than someone who kicks ass and takes names.
Like a grown-ass man, though.
I know.
That was a kid.
Although he was rejected from the Legion, he became part of another legion of substitute heroes who apparently found more use for his color-changing powers. Since he's able to change the color of things via the electromagnetic spectrum, he can sometimes alter their composition, which did prove useful during the Earth War invasion. As a member, Color Kid was entitled to the Legion Flight Ring, which also allowed him to fly, among other things.
Oh, yeah, they always had that ring for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They made the
Legion Ring.
It made flying useless.
Useless. Yeah. So if that was all your superpower was, it's like, well.
We got this ring, so we don't really need you.
Number 7, Doorman.
Doorman.
Doorman. What could possibly be so great about watching the door of a building and keeping out the lowlifes? Wait, that's not what this Marvel's Doorman superhero does. Then why is he named that? There are certain words that have a particular connotation attached to them, and Doorman is one of them. If his superpower allows for the transportation of people from place to place, why not call him Teleport Man? Or something more exciting sounding? Believe it or not, Doorman actually has a pretty interesting storyline. He's eventually tapped as a new Angel of Death after Death Urge is captured. Although his father doesn't approve of his superhero lifestyle, he's overjoyed at his son's Angel of Death appointment. Doorman has to collect the soul of his own father after he dies while decorating for Christmas.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Fucking cracks his neck on the little stool he gets up on. He trips over.
Yep.
And breaks his neck on the coffee table.
Number 6, Maggot.
Maggot.
Briefly a member of the X-Men, Maggot is a unique type of mutant who possesses a sentient digestive system. That's right. He has 2 giant slug creatures living in his stomach named Eenie and Meanie. Eenie and Meanie.
Oh.
Eenie, Meanie, Mighty Mo. These beings use the energy from the food that they ate to give Maggot his energy. Thus, without them, he suffers greatly and can actually die. Aside from that...
Yeah, so with not eating. What the...
Aside from that, he really has no powers to speak of, although he did gain strength comparable of how much the slugs have eaten. Eenie and Meanie can consume pretty much anything, including human flesh, just like actual maggots do.
That doesn't sound right at all.
In fact...
They gotta make him a cannibal?
In fact, they almost eat Psylocke.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Whenever she attacked him and the Uncanny X-Men. However, it was the consumption of a bomb implanted in Cyclops that gained him his favor in a spot on the X-Men. Still, despite his merits, Maggot got stuck with one of the most disgusting mutations around and a matching name to boot.
Mm.
The next one, number 5, the Gay Ghost.
The Gay Ghost. What?
Just the look on your face like, huh?
Doesn't matter if he's gay or not.
Well, one of the oldest superheroes in terms of his creation and actual age, the Gay Ghost's the Gay Ghost's name doesn't quite mean what you think it might.
Is he happy? Oh.
Although his origin tale tells of a strange adventure in one of the clearest in all history.
The Casper?
He wasn't supposed to be portrayed in the contemporary meaning of the word gay.
Oh.
Created in the 1940s for the first issue of Sensation Comics, the Gay Ghost's name was supposed to be a hint to his amicable, cheerful leanings, much like Casper was called the Friendly Ghost.
Okay.
Still, the name is pretty silly, as in his main superpower, entering the bodies of men who he deemed good at heart.
He goes right up their asshole.
Like, their description doesn't make it.
Yeah, that doesn't help at all.
Essentially, he possesses people, but only men. They don't
Okay. All right. Okay.
like,
So, with the gay part doesn't mean gay, though. Okay.
the name still fits, is what I'm trying to say.
So this guy knew exactly what he was writing
Yes, he did.
when he made his character.
His name was changed to the Grim Ghost in the 1950s to avoid offending the general population sensibilities at the time.
He had to marry a woman, and even though he loves men, the whole Brokeback Mountain situation he's having. So now the Grim Ghost.
The Grim Ghost. Now he's grim. He went-
I had to quit you. Now I'm not happy.
Number 4, Fruit Boy.
Oh boy, who was it? Gay ghost sidekick?
One of the many potential recruits rejected by the Legion of Superheroes.
I'd have fucking rejected.
So you have Color Kid and Fruit Boy.
What if like he just carried around like bowls of fruit to help you like get healthy?
Fruit Boy's name is about as impressive as his power. Essentially a guy who just carries around a bag of fruit.
Oh yeah, okay, he does.
Ripening it with some sort of concentrated energy, he didn't really stick around long. Only appearing in 3 Legion of Superheroes issues, he was pretty much just a part of a ploy at diplomacy by the President of the United States. A few issues after he was introduced, the United Planets used him and the other Legion rejects to form their own group. They were supposed to observe the dissection of an alien destroyer carcass that turned out not to be dead at all. Maybe if Fruit Boy had used a bunch of his ripe fruits to choke the destroyer to death, Legion wouldn't have to rescue them from it. Number 3, Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Really?
Just the name.
Mhm.
Not necessarily the powers, but that's a long-ass name.
Because of the length of it.
That's why Deadpool made fun of it, remember?
Yeah.
Holy shit, what is that
I
name?
thought he liked that name.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead, because it was just a whole mouthful of shit. Of course, she was part of the new X-Men in the early 2000s.
Really? That young, huh?
Hmm?
I mean, older than that, character wise. Anyway, I mean, like publication wise.
Yeah, yeah.
I know it was all the way to the early 2000s. When she grows up, she just drops a teenage part, just Negasonic Warhead.
Probably. Negasonic Warhead.
Close enough, yeah.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead is one of those superhero names that you either think is absolutely amazing or incredibly lame.
No middle ground, huh?
No middle ground. Either way, you have to admit it's a pretty ridiculous name. Even Kitty Pryde remarks in the comic books, "Wow, we really have to run out of Wow, we really have run out of names."
She didn't even have a superhero name.
Kitty Pryde,
Yeah, what the hell is she talking about?
Shadowcat,
Shadowcat's stupid.
but she had a name. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I guess she did. What is Shadowcat?
Shadowcat.
I guess I'm thinking about Jean Grey. She didn't really have
Phoenix,
Well, that was when the power. Before that, she didn't have anything.
just Jean Grey.
Yeah, basically.
She was just gonna fuck you up with her own name.
She's gonna fucking give you everyone's fucking description. Like, you have her name, right? Then you type it in the fucking computer and you find out everyone else's name.
Jean Grey.
Like, oh, she goes to the School of Extraordinary Students as Professor Xavier. So much for the secret identity.
You just find them all.
Yeah.
With a name like that, it's not surprising that Grant Morrison borrowed it from elsewhere. Apparently, he was a big fan of the group Monster Magnet, who have a song called Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Oh, really?
Morrison created the character during his time working on New X-Men in the early 2000s, but her appearances were short-lived. She mostly functioned as a student of Emma Frost's, and then later appeared as a member of the Hellfire Club, along with the Black King and Perfection. Even her portrayal in Deadpool films was largely due to her name alone, which the filmmakers chose out of 400 different X-Men characters that they could choose.
How many? 400? What? Been that many X-Men characters? Jesus Christ.
Screenwriter Paul Wernick put it, "I don't care what her powers are, she's going to be in the movie." Number 2. God, this is such a stupid name. Arm Fall Off Boy.
Oh, that guy.
So you know this one.
Suicide Squad guy. Wasn't it?
Let's see here.
Is it DC character?
Yeah, it's DC.
Okay, that is the same one.
He's part of the Legion.
Nathan Fillion was playing, wasn't it?
Let's
Was it a different one? Or did they change the name for him?
When your name sounds like a punk and emo band had a baby, it's easy to see why no one takes you seriously. Arm Fall-Off Boy, was one of the handful of superheroes who tried out for the Legion during the Secret Origins comics in the 1980s. In issue number 46, he demonstrated his powers to a bewildered Saturn Girl, Lightning Lad, and Cosmic Boy, to which they responded with a polite, "No thank you."
Just watch his hands fall off.
First of all, his arm doesn't even fall off. He has to pull it off in order for it to be used as a weapon. If it did fall off, that'd be even more stupid. Imagine he's in the middle of battle running around.
Okay, shit just hits the ground.
And his arm just falls off. Then it wouldn't even it'd be a superpower to work with.
It'd be a disadvantage.
Secondly, isn't it a sort of redundant to have an arm you pull off into a weapon? You grab your own arm.
Yeah. Well, no, because if we're being logical, you get more like weight, right? If you start swinging,
More leverage.
yeah, you start swinging your fist around. Man, you'd be hurting your knuckles.
It's no wonder the guy's entire existence was wiped out following the events of 0 Hour.
Jesus,
Just gone.
it doesn't even exist.
And the last one, number one of the stupidest names, Looker.
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 Loker.
Looker. Is this not the most ridiculously sexist name for a superhero you've ever heard? As if this poor girl's self-worth and identity are entirely wrapped up in her look.
Oh, I see the context.
Never mind that she actually has some pretty impressive superpowers like telepathy, telekinesis, and psychometry. Couldn't they have just called her something like telepath? Maybe. Looker started off as Emily Briggs, a homely bank teller in Los Angeles. They use the word homely.
Homely.
Then, through her, though she's kidnapped by the Abyssians, it's revealed that she's not next in line for their throne, but that Halley's Comet will make her beautiful and powerful.
Yay.
After that, she's transformed. She ditches her bank job to become a model, because that's what all women really want to be, right? What's worse is that she was married and presents her new self to her husband during Christmas, as if her body is a possession to be owned. Not to get all feminist on you guys, but that's a whole women's studies paper begging to be written about this unfortunately named DC heroine.
Never even heard of Looker.
Neither. They're like,
Man, just like the amount of history.
I could feel the venom coming from this writer, though, from Screen Rant because of it. So, this
Venom. Oh, wow. Still stuck on the Eminem song. Momentum.
where he goes up to the top of the Empire State Building and sings it.
Diddy. God, him.
I know, the diddler. They finally caught the diddler. 1,000 bottles of baby
I
oil.
wonder if it's true that they say that Ben Affleck divorced J-Lo because the FBI showed her a video of her hooking up with P. Diddy.
I can see it.
Why the fuck would he have anything to do? Like, hey, Ben Affleck, come here real quick. Like, for this investigation. And why ruin his marriage? Like, what? And that makes no sense to me.
She might have been into other stuff. You never know.
Like, if it was illegal stuff, what's that got to do with the husband? Unless he's into, like,
Well, that's why he's like, yeah, I'm done.
like it was weird to me. Like, why the FBI? Like, the story doesn't like pan out to me. It'd be like if the cops found out that my wife was an international terrorist, right? And like, here, she's having sex with another man. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Like, why are you showing me this?
Like, we got a video of it.
It's like, oh.
Just arrest her. You got evidence of that. So that's why it doesn't make any. Why would the FBI show Ben Affleck a video of him and of her and P. Diddy banging? I just feel like it's clickbait. It has to be clickbait. That makes
Could be.
fucking sense to me.
Yeah, there has to be other things involved with that. But
Like, they want him to what? Like, have you seen anything? Do you like want him to be a witness in the trial?
could be.
Or I don't know, like they would just like here, like.
Did you see Meek Mill just came out as gay?
Who?
Meek Mill,
Who's that?
that rapper that everybody had been joking about him getting topped by Diddy multiple times, and turns out he did. He came out crying like, Diddy is awesome, man.
Damn, that's crazy.
Like, oh, the diddler got you too, huh?
Man, he sure went through it. I mean, with that amount of power, he could do whatever he wanted. It's crazy.
Do you remember that scene from Madagascar where it's got the lion? Can't remember his name, but whenever he's having like that hallucination of meat falling around him and everything, somebody said that's Diddy in prison. Just in a place of just meat.
Just meat. I think it's more of a power thing for him than actual.
No, I think he was the biggest goon of ever.
Impossible. I am.
He beat you. Where?
I'm the goon. Capital THE.
Somebody said a picture.
You ever seen the character The Goon? There's a comic book character named The Goon.
Oh god.
Yeah, he had a crossover with Hellboy once. It's a Dark Horse character. He's called The Goon. Yeah, unfortunately, when he was called The Goon, it had a different connotation.
To it, yeah.
Now it's Goon is a whole nother fucking thing.
Yes, it is.
It's weird how words just take on the oddest of forms.
I mean, look, in the 1940s, the ghost was called Gay
No,
Ghost.
he knew exactly what he meant. It must have been also been homosexual in terms of like definition, because he made him go only into men
He can only possess men.
and only through their asshole. I had that part myself, but that's what it sounded like it's going to do.
And then he became the Grim Ghost.
Because he had to leave that life and marry a woman, and he didn't want to, but now he's living the Brokeback Mountain lifestyle. So I can't quit you. I should watch that movie one time. See what's going on.
I never seen it.
What's
Never cared to, but
what's going on? Hey, come on, Breakback Mountain. What's going on, Breakback Mountain? What's going on? You can tell I'm tired because I'm like, what's going on?
with wasn't it Heath Ledger?
With Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal. It's my boy Jake Gyllenhaal.
Well, you can be a country person, you know.
You know, it's
Cowboy.
Mysterio and the Joker.
That's well, I mean, look what happened to Joker recently in the new movie.
Oh yeah, he got raped.
Yeah.
Damn, that was wild. A crazy choice as a writer.
Yeah. Just completely just
'Cause,
fuck
like,
him over.
Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, how do these writers get through writing this? Like they write you can write some of like the most truly gut turning type scenes, and you're like, oh man, how did you write this? They'd be like, I didn't write it. It spoke to me. Some shit like that. You know what I mean? They always say that inspiration talked to me. So, okay, whatever, bro.
He just got done watching
Like freaking Human Centipede, and they wrote a fucking 15-page source story of feces.
I was gonna say he watched Spider-Man get his back blown out, so let's do that for Joker. All right, let's move into the Reddit real quick, and this will be the last segment for today. First one is by Empathetic Apathist.
Empathetic apathist.
This person puts, for context, most of my students are seniors in high school. We're working on a project that involves CNC milling out of words and then laser engraving and laser cutting acrylic letters that are press fitted into the wood. The acrylic pieces are the exact same size as the carved out letters, so you need some pressure to get them back in.
I don't know what the fuck I'm laughing at. I'm such a child sometimes.
You heard the word pressure to get them in.
Yeah.
We used a rubber mallet to hit the letters, but if students aren't careful, they can crack the acrylic. Whenever I make personal projects like this, I push the letters in enough to get them stuck, then flip the board over with the letters facing down on the table and use the mallet to hit the back of the board.
Smart.
This causes the acrylic letters to be pushed against the table and into their carved spots on the board. Well, while busy taking care of 1,000 things around the lab at once, I quickly told the students, who were mid-process of pressing their letters in, I'd like to flip it over and hit it from the back.
Nice.
Quickly realized that what I said and walked in another part of the lab, hoping that no one had heard the way I had said this.
Oh, they heard. Everyone heard.
Then I glanced over to the students and they were laughing pretty hard. I walked back over and said, yep, I heard it too. They're good kids and knew it was an honest mistake, but yeah. The first comment, you're now way up the list of favorite teachers. Because he likes to flip it over and hit it from the back. Alrighty, next one is by No Dead People, Please.
Okay. Oh, that theory that everyone on Google is dead?
Yeah.
Or everyone on the internet's dead?
Yeah, the dead internet theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This must be what he's talking about.
All right, this is a little bit of a long one. So, this person puts, my girlfriend shared a role-playing fantasy with me during the early stages of our relationship, but her own admission, she never expected our relationship to grow into something serious, so she proposed, so the purpose of her sharing this specific fantasy on one of our dates didn't feel like anything she wanted to of us to actually do. It was a trivial topic between two people who didn't see a long-term future with each other and therefore felt comfortable discussing our absurd fantasies. This is how my girlfriend explained her fantasy to me. she catches her supposedly stray boyfriend fucking a male sex doll, which turns her on and prompts her to encourage him to continue fucking the doll. While she watches and masturbates.
We can stop right there and move on to the next one. We got all we needed.
Just the look on your face.
I gotta buy my own fucking business.
Because you start going like, huh? No idea how to react at the time, but I always remembered my girlfriend struggling to balance her embarrassment with her enthusiasm, which was wholesome as fuck it and made me like her even more.
Did he want to do the thing where like he just one day doesn't say anything and she just walks in, he's just like fucking going to town? Like a surprise thing, and it went off the rails from there. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And blah 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 blah.
Well, I liked her so much that I wanted to keep seeing her, and thankfully the feeling was mutual. We eventually became girlfriend and boyfriend, and life continued. My girlfriend never referenced the gay sex doll fantasy again, even though we experimented with a variety of other role-playing fantasies in the bedroom. I never forgot, and I figured it would be kind of cool to celebrate our 1-year anniversary.
Here we go.
By exploring the fantasy my girlfriend shared with me whenever I was nothing more to her than a guy that just she wanted to have fun with in her free time, I decided to keep it a surprise and let my girlfriend believe that our anniversary dinner
The surprise part.
was as special as things were going to get that night. But little did
her and her parents came in for dinner. There I was, going to town.
But little did she know that I secretly made all the necessary arrangements to bring her homoerotic fantasy to life. The plan was simple. Go out for dinner, come home, cuddle on the couch. However, mid-cuddle, I would go to the bathroom, but that would be an act because I would not be going to the bathroom at all. I would instead beeline for the bedroom.
Fucking plot twist. But I wasn't going to the bathroom.
I would instead beeline for the bedroom, where I would get undressed and proceed to get things on with the male sex doll, which I ordered online weeks ago and managed to keep hidden until this moment.
Keep hidden.
The idea being that my girlfriend would begin to wonder where the fuck I was, and then eventually find me balls deep inside the rubber butt of a lifelike sex toy. I was hoping that by the time my girlfriend opened the bedroom door, I would have managed to get it up, get it in, and somehow make it look like I'm not just fucking an inanimate object, but the object of my deepest desires. Needless to say, I had to be hard to fuck the doll, which proved to be hard to do because, you know, it's a fucking doll. Not exactly my type. I never even heard my girlfriend approach the bedroom because I was too focused on forcing my dick to cooperate. As soon as the bedroom door swung open, my girlfriend and I saw each other. We both fucking froze. The gasp from both.
Then she's like, ah. He's like, ah. And then Jesus is like, ah. God's like, ah. And Satan's like, nice.
Exactly. My girlfriend covered her mouth with her hand and asked if I was gonna what the fuck was happening.
Fucking arm, the hand gas. My God, it must be fucking serious. Yeah.
I jokingly said that she wanted to be with a guy who was into fucking twink sex dolls up the ass.
He's like, he just fucking flexes his muscles. Yeah.
My girlfriend laughed and said that she had no idea what I was talking about, but she was keen to know more.
I done lost my shit. What do you, bitch? What the fuck do you mean? This was your idea.
I reminded her of the moment at the beginning of our relationship whenever she revealed that she fantasized about a role-playing situation where she catches her boyfriend fucking a male sex doll, and then she ends up enjoying the show. My girlfriend gradually stopped laughing and said that she most definitely would have remembered something as specific as that, and yet she struggled to remember anything like that.
I'm like, man, you got dementia? What, you got Alzheimer's? What do you mean you don't remember?
Ever being discussed between the two of us or anyone else. I said I remembered, though, hence the fuckable mannequin I was failing to fuck. My girlfriend stopped saying she didn't remember what I was talking about and low-key switched to disagreeing with me because she never shared a fantasy like that with anyone because she refused to believe it was something she would think of, let alone enjoy.
What the fuck? How the fuck did this turn back on me?
I made it clear to her that I would never have purchased a male sex doll, much less go as far to fuck the thing, if it wasn't for the fact that I remembered her talking about how hot that was for her.
Wait a minute.
My girlfriend asked.
Wait a minute. This wasn't her, was it?
I don't know.
He was like, this was a different person he dated during the same time as her.
That would have been funny, though. My girlfriend asks if one of us was gaslighting the other, or maybe one of us, aka me, was feeling somewhat ashamed about what was going on in the room before she walked in.
Maybe.
I said I was feeling frustrated that she was refusing to even entertain the idea that she might have had this fantasy and communicated with me. My girlfriend said maybe I was confusing her with an ex-girlfriend who enjoyed watching straight guys doing gay stuff. I decided to shut up and get dressed because I didn't understand what was going on anymore. My girlfriend inspected the sex doll while continuing to question me about the so-called fantasy of hers, and she was convinced that it was, in fact, my fantasy. She wondered if it was just her that thought the sex doll kind of looked like my best friend. I kissed her and said happy anniversary before I reiterated that this was all for her. My girlfriend asked if that was meant that she could use the sex doll too. I said, since both my dick and my chick, I said, this is both my dick and my chick. I never actually said chick, are not into me using the doll, then I would have no use for it. So consider it an anniversary gift. My girlfriend thanked me and said she appreciated how vulnerable I was willing to be in front of her, regardless of whose fantasies it was. It's been a month.
I would have never let that slide. You know, god dang well, this is your idea.
It's been a month since the night of our anniversary, and one thing has become apparent to me. My girlfriend loves the sex doll. In fact, she's been fucking it more than she fucks me, but she denies it, which seems to be something she does a lot whenever it comes to the sex doll. I wish I could go back in time and tell my past me to avoid buying the sex doll and save the money for a PS5 or some shit.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. The first response is anyone going to talk about how she said it looked like her his best friend and now she wants to fuck it all the time.
Oh yeah.
That's the fucked up part. Alrighty, next one is by Early Bathroom 9533. Ready? First and post. So here's the story, y'all. Y'all. That's how you know it's gonna be something. It's y'all. I am in my first semester of college. This guy is super nonchalant, and we are only friends with benefits. So I don't know him that well. We basically just text whenever we need something. At the night, he texted me. He texted me at 2:30, saying he couldn't sleep. At that point in the night, I had already taken my nightly pills, and today's birth control pill happened to be a placebo. Normally, whenever I take the placebo, my period doesn't start for a couple of days, so whenever he texted, I didn't think anything of it. Anyways, we go out and park, and we start fucking in my car, and he puts my legs over my head, and I feel gurgling and weird. The gurgly and weird? I had been having stomach problems all day from the shitty cafeteria food. And I should have taken a shit before we left because I felt like something was leaking out, but I didn't want to believe it. So we kept fucking. That's dark. We can't tell whatsoever than the smell. And I'm thinking, oh shit, I just totally shat myself. Yeah. And so he stops and looks down confused, and I grab his dick. And there's literally shit all over. I grab a towel and open the doors and clean to move everything up, both of us silent in horror and what had just happened. I'm so embarrassed because I feel like I'm totally reaching, and I'm just like, yeah, that is definitely the last time we're doing that like that anyway. God, the way these people write. Doing that like there is no way he is going to want to fuck me ever again. Anyways, so we clean up and get dressed, and I turn the car on, which turns the lights on, and he looks in his boxers, and he's like, I think you're on your period too. You're joking. A double whammy? So, at some point, I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to be single forever, and start driving absolutely horrified, and he says, hey, look on the bright side, at least you didn't shit yourself.
Very funny.
What? Lamau, he thinks that it's all my period and no caca?
Hmm.
I really hope whenever I dropped him off and he cleans up and he continues to think that. He said in the car a couple of times that, like, don't worry about it. It happens. But I just have this gut feeling that this arrangement is coming to a close, which sucks because I actually like him. But that story is for another day. So there you have it. Laying in bed, 4:30 in the morning, have an exam at 11, cramps killing, hate myself. Yeah. So she shit herself and period. That's a definite double whammy. You gotta if you the rule of the day, if you feel like you got the shit before doing anything, go shit. Don't try to hold it. We've heard so many people, yeah, I held it until I got to the dental office and then shit myself.
Blew my back out.
It's too many times. Too many times. Next one is by OP Leftige. Too many letters at the end. Might sound a bit weird, but bear with me. A few years ago, I had to go to Japan for a project. Our team were also treated to various dinners during the course of 2 weeks, some at pretty upmarket places like geishas and stuff like that. The geishas had difficulty in pronouncing a colleague's, Percy's name.
Percy?
Percy.
Mm.
It came out like Pussy-san.
Mm.
I thought it was funny and changed its contact to that in my phone. The day after we got back, I forgot my phone at home. I phoned my wife and asked her to tell anyone that phoned to contact me directly on my landline. Guess who was the first to call? My wife had no idea how to answer the call looking at the caller ID, and even if she should answer that, Pussy-san?
Weird. Some pronunciations are hard. I really can't say my name properly in here. That's for sure.
No way.
Or have I every version you can possibly get?
No, Noah.
They don't even try. They just say no.
No.
No. They can say Jose, even though there's a freaking E at the end of it.
That is true.
So isn't Jose? So why can't you take that in your brain and then assume like, oh, he's Hispanic too? So the E must be exactly the same. You dumb sexist shit.
Even Jesus. Hey. It's got the...
Right, it's an H.
No, but it's got the A sound. Jesus. Hey. A.
Yep.
Like...
Jesus. Jesus.
If you're Spanish where you have the extra like little lisp at the end. All right. Next one is by Yo 2023. This person puts, using an alternative account because I don't really want it to come back on me.
Man, no one gives a shit, man. Just come on. Like there's some fucking super spy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sure, no one can find out where I'm at.
Also, on mobile, so please bear with if I misspell something or forget any capitalization. I also included in the not safe for work in case discussing nipples or areolas is considered that. This person,
Do a lot of not safe for work. I missed the fun ones of just like people shitting themselves.
I know. They're hard to find now.
Yeah, I think we read them all.
I apologize in advance. Today while at work, I accidentally injured my right areola while stacking some totes at work.
Jesus.
I was placing the totes on...
the fuck? Like they weigh 50 pounds apiece?
I was placing the totes on a larger stack, and I guess I was too close to the edge of the totes and crushed my nipple, cutting a small part of my areola.
Oh shit, that would fucking kill.
Now I'm sitting at home icing my injury in shame. I can't tell any of my family or my partner because I'm so embarrassed. But I had to get this off of my chest.
What do you mean? I can say that, no problem. Yeah, I cut my titty, all right? Is that what you want to hear?
Edit. I am a woman and the injury is my areola and very close to on my nipple as well.
That shit would fucking be so goddamn painful.
Edit 2. Please stop asking for photos of my injury in my messages and requests. You know, you got to...
People are people, yeah.
Let's see it. I want to see it.
That shit would fucking sting.
More than anything, it would sting.
Yeah, like, oh man.
It's like, ah!
Especially because it would be rubbing up against her
shirt all day long.
Well, it'd probably be her bra.
I'm just saying, if it was a dude doing it, it'd be rubbing against your shirt all day.
Yeah, man.
I'm looking at it as from both sexes, and you wouldn't want that.
No.
You don't want to snap your nipple.
But yeah, like it like pinches it, everything would be bugging. People like, oh.
You may not have the areola, but you got the nipple. and it hurts.
Kind of like when like your pants kind of like clip the
Oh,
clip
yeah.
your little
Either.
either side of it. Oh man.
You got the dangly bits or the other.
hmm I've never clipped. I've only done it once. It was like I immediately went straight back down
It's like, ah.
because it was like just like I just grabbed a couple of hairs. I
Oh.
was like, no thanks.
All right, next one is by Gobsy. This person puts. So, on the Rick and Morty subreddit yesterday, I saw a post asking what people would do granted a Mr. Meeseeks box.
Mr. Meeseeks.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably what I do with a Mr. Meeseeks. So what I do with a Mr. Meeseeks, I'd probably send him to my job. I do work my freaking schedule, and I'll focus on my writing. It's like, oh, Mr. Meeseeks, look at me, and then you can't poof away until I'm a fully finished screenplay and sold it. And he's like, my Mr. It'd be like 300 like sort of 8 years later. Mr. Meeseeks just going through it because apparently Mr. Meeseeks can exist for long periods of time. They're not meant to. They're supposed to do a quick task for you and then they disappear.
Right.
So if he was forced to live 8 years, he would be falling apart mentally. Yeah, I've been alive longer than anybody, man. I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me. Because they were trying to get one of the characters. What the hell is it? The guy that they can't stand. Rick, Morty, Summer, a wife's name I can't remember. Is it Hope? No. Sounds stupid. Beth. So what the fuck's the husband's name? I don't remember the husband's name, but Rick can't stand him.
Mm.
So they made him, and his family was bothering him one day, so he gave him all the Mr. Meeseeks box.
Yeah.
They all had simple tasks for him. And except for the husband, he wanted to like shave a couple of like points off his golf swing, and it was impossible. And so the Mr. Meeseeks was having so much trouble that he made another Mr. Meeseeks to help him with his task, and then that ended up in a freaking snowball effect of a bunch of Mr. Meeseeks. So that was like 800 Mr. Meeseeks. And then finally, one had to like, the only way we can fix this is if we kill the husband. That was the final solution. If they kill him, they could all cease to exist, which was their ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Mr. Meeseeks.
Well, for anybody who doesn't know or dwells under a couch or conch, I don't know why you spelled it wrong, but whatever. Sure, whatever. Meeseeks is a character in Rick and Morty who, once summoned, at a press of a button on the bottom of a box, will do anything you ask. They are blue, non-gendered, and obviously cartoonist in design. One of the comments mentioned the user's desire to receive blowjob from Mr. Meeseeks.
Fuck. Does it always go into sexual time?
The thought popped into my head, therefore, has anybody had some mad reason to make Mr. Meeseeks porn? Are people mad enough to watch it? In my research, therefore, I headed to work and proceeded to Google Meeseeks porn. The research appeared promising as I opened a couple of tabs and look. As this is content obviously non-sexual as far as I'm concerned, I didn't use incognito. If my girlfriend saw it, it's pretty explainable. Onwards in the evening, I'm currently doing bar work at a country pub on Cotswolds.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me.
I was chatting away a couple,
Jerry. That's the husband's name, Jerry.
Jerry?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Jerry, ain't it?
Yeah. Fucking
See?
Jerry.
Popped into your head.
It's always there. I just had to find it in the files.
I was chatting away to a couple visiting for a few days, and they were speaking about bad flooding we've had over here. Hunched together, I produced my phone and headed to Google to show a news story, and oh my gosh, it slapped wide over the screen. Curvy sexy cartoon summer.
Mr. Meeseeks, look at me.
Curvy sexy cartoon summer. Drooling Mr. Meeseeks genitals. Yeah. It was horrible. They didn't laugh. Still seemed
They must not be Rick and Morty fans.
Still seemed to me like a bottle of wine down them, and only hope they don't remember after being on the booze. They're staying tonight as well whenever I start work. First person, that's Mr. Meeseeks, look at him. More like me cheeks.
That's the face. That's his catchphrase. I'm Mr. Meeseeks, look at me. The bottom of the box, bro, it's at the fucking top. What the hell is he talking about? Does he even watch the show? The fucking button's on the top. Who would press a button on the bottom?
That's what he put.
Like, look at that from an animation standpoint, right?
Yeah.
For the button has to be on the top for the animation to, like, you know, to the visual of them popping the button. Pow, pow.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to see it on the bottom. It would look weird.
I think he meant at the bottom of a screen, maybe. I don't know.
He's full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you ever discourage Rick and Morty or disparage it in any way? You know, goddamn well, it's the top of the box. Because logically, it looks better on like if it was in a movie, right? Would it look cool if the button was on the top or a secret button on the bottom? Unless it was like a spy,
Like a spy movie or something.
right? Like it's a good visual button press.
All right, next one is by Secret Name 7087. This person puts. Okay, just for context, I'm a 25-year-old gay guy. This morning at 7 a.m., I woke up feeling pretty frisky. So I decided to start the day with a quick wank before work. Guys here will know the score. I put on a hot video and start to go to town on myself. I was really in the heat of the moment whenever all of a sudden I heard a sponge on my window, which is directly behind me in bed, so you can see into my whole room if you somehow look in. Now, my house is a detached one that looks over a field, and my room is on the 3rd floor, so I don't overly worry about being seen whenever I'm doing my business. My curtain is usually closed most of the time anyway, but if it isn't for any sort of thing, I'm on my 3rd floor.
Mm.
When I hear the sponge, though, I look behind me with my boner in hand, and there is a middle-aged guy just looking in, scrubbing away at the window. I felt intensely embarrassed and quickly closed the curtain. Having gone entirely soft again at this stage, I was annoyed about it for a little bit, and was blaming the window cleaner. Though I'm mostly over it now, and I realize I should be more careful in the future whenever I go to enjoy myself. It's going to be awkward, though, whenever he comes back for the payment. Yeah, and the other person puts, as a window cleaner, I wish to disagree. I do everything I can to not look inside these people's houses.
Yeah, fuck you, race. Just an honest window cleaner, and the filth I've seen. Will haunt me all my days.
You wouldn't really believe how bad we feel when we accidentally stumble upon private moments. It's really horrible for us. OP can rest assured that when he meets the window cleaner next time, it will be the window cleaner that is the most embarrassed about this.
Yeah.
Because the comment that required that one is that guy's job is literally looking inside people's windows all day. This is probably won't even qualify for the most embarrassing thing he's seen all week.
I guarantee you will.
Somebody below that's the AMA we need. Because, there's freaks out there. Alrighty, next one is by Mysterious Finger 282.
Buffalo Bills out there.
Well, fuck me, what you?
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That's funny. It just starts playing over and over again.
Alrighty, this person puts, a little under a month ago, I started a job at UPS here in my hometown. It hasn't been an easy job by any means, a lot of heavy lifting and constant workout while working there, but even then I loved it so far. The problem started this morning. My mom had left some muscle relaxants in my room for any time I felt sore from work. Like, well, whose mom just leaves you fucking muscle relaxer? Like,
I got your pills right here. I
God,
got your uppers, your downers.
I know.
Like, God dang. His mom's a drug pusher.
Exactly. After working for a while, I had gotten used to the burn of the job. It's not that bad. Like, I know from personal experience multiple people that work at these places, and it's not that bad. But for whatever reason,
Must be brutal for him. He's like the only worker in the whole town.
exactly.
He's got every person. He's got 6,000 cases a day.
But for whatever reason, I decided to take the muscle relaxants before work. Whenever I got to work, I started stacking boxes and doing the usual work you'd imagine a UPS worker to do. I guarantee you it's exactly what you think it is, except the boxes are between 20 and 100 pounds each. That's not true. It's 150. Not for UPS, but for the competitor. It goes up to 150. Until I started feeling the strength of my arms weakening, my legs were aching and my lower back was starting to feel like it was being squished together. It was a weird feeling. For a bit, I tried powering through it, assuming it was just me needing to fix my posture whenever I lift and using my legs more. But the feeling was growing more and more. Then I remember taking the muscle relaxers and realizing that my body was relaxing itself while I worked out.
So I take it easy, bro. His muscles just slowly.
Slowly going out. To confirm my suspicions, I looked up really quick on my phone, and unfortunately, my mistake could have risked an injury and caused me to pull something a lot easier than usual. Embarrassed, I looked at my manager to tell him about my mistake. Then they asked me a few questions to confirm that I wasn't BSing. BSing them until they decided that I should go home. Naturally, I would be okay with going home, but I felt stupid having to leave my job not even 30 minutes before it even started because of my lack of knowledge on the appropriate time to take muscle relaxants. The only reason I felt like sharing this is that this subreddit is because I'm afraid of losing my job that I frankly fell in love with because of a stupid slip-up. I also think I have a greater chance of getting fired because I'm still in the probation stage of my job. Not that this has happened before, but I think this might be plenty of the reason to let me go. At the same time, I didn't want to risk an injury and making myself a liability to them because of this. Regardless, I lost my hours for the day and feeling like a complete idiot. This person puts, what you did is literally a felony, dude. Like, you can't work with heavy equipment on muscle relaxers.
I do it all the time. I am a heavy equipment.
You just move yourself.
Yeah, that counts.
Next one is IBM 5555. This person puts, today I fucked up by taking a nap with an earbud in. I did not mean to take a nap, nor did I mean to leave an earbud in. But I was exhausted from my closing shift at the work last night. I was watching last week tonight whenever I fell asleep. Whenever I woke up, my phone was off on the ground next to the couch, and I was in horrible pain in my left ear. As I sat up, I looked down to see my earbud fall into my lap. The silicone part that sits in the ear was missing. This was my first sign. I stood up, putting the earbud back in the charging case. I looked around for the silicone part, but I couldn't find it. At the same
Check
time,
your fucking ear.
I stuck a pinky into my left ear and figured out why it hurt so much. I couldn't feel anything at first. Then my finger nudged something. I froze. I ran stumbling to the bathroom, panicking about what I could do. I couldn't see anything, of course I couldn't. It's in my fucking ear. I ran back to grab my phone, hoping I could get a picture to see where it was for sure. After a few attempts, sure enough, there's the fucking silicone tip lodged in my goddamn ear. I can't afford to go to the emergency room. What the hell am I going to do? I can't ask anyone for help. That would be incredibly embarrassing. I would rather light myself on fire. I'd have to get it out myself. I couldn't reach it with my fingers. Next, I tried using needle nose pliers. That didn't work. Finally, I tried using a pair of tweezers. I was able to get a hold of the damn thing, and it was the most uncomfortable sensation I ever felt. I watched in the mirror as I slid it out of my ear, covered in a fair amount of earwax. I washed it off in the sink, resolving to never think about it again, and never fall asleep with an earbud in again. I will likely do this again, though, within the week.
Wild.
The first comment for this. What an overreaction to a nothing problem. Like, dude, it's not going to kill you to take it out. And the person below them, OP almost died, dude. Like,
OP.
the original poster.
Oh.
He almost died with capital letters. Died?
I don't know about dying, but I mean, like, having something foreign on your ear and you can't get it out, it's fucking insane.
It is, but it's not like you're going to die from it. Like, you have time to...
Right, but if...
Like, it's not like a cockroach.
And the option was like, I guess I can't go to the hospital, so I might as well kill myself.
That's he had those two
That's
options.
what it sounded like, because he's like, I can't ask anyone for help. It's embarrassing. Like, well,
Right.
I'm like, what do you tell? Just ask someone to pull your fucking shit out.
All you have to do is say, hey, can you use some tweezers and pull this out for me, please?
Probably like, what the fuck are you talking about? If I'm being dead honest, I'm like, what do you mean?
But then if they say, hey, I lost a silicone tip in my ear, it's like, okay.
Get out of my house. How do you get in my house? Get out of my house. It just evolves into a whole different thing.
All right. We got one more. All right. This person is, I'm under your bed. XOXO.
Like that one.
This person puts, this happened in college. I was around 19 at the time. My first time getting crossfaded, and it was a time.
Crossfaded?
Yeah.
What is that?
He explains.
Oh.
For those
That
of you,
was something common that I didn't know.
For those of you who don't know what crossfaded is, it's when you're drunk and high at the same time.
Oh,
You really fucked up.
Jesus.
This requires some backstory. Basically, I don't know why we were doing
Here's
this.
the backstory. I got drunk and then I got high. End of story.
Exactly. I don't know why we were doing this. My friends at the time and I were looking at animal-shaped dildos on Amazon.
So when one does during their off time.
I guess we thought it was funny. My crossfaded mind, though, thought that it'd be hilarious to see the horse dildo, unrelated. It's huge, by the way. One that I found on a gimp suit, a horse one specifically, like from Family Guy. Problem is, I forgot the word for dildo, but I remember the word cock. And being the naive teenager I went to Google Images and was instantly sobered up from my shock.
Hold on. Crazy person